Oh my goodness, look how many people are in tonight. It's going to be a killer show. Listen, anything that you're doing that's not out in the cold weather is going to be a better time tonight. This is Shop Talk. Get ready for 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Great guest tonight. Great stuff to get through on the show. Can't wait to spend some time with you guys talking about motorcycles instead of politics and weather and all the dumb shit that goes on in the world. Let's get back to the good stuff. Good people, good times, and great motorcycles here on Shop Talk. There is 2.5 minutes left until we go live with this one. That's enough time for you to kick back, relax, get a cold drink, settle in. Make sure all your friends and neighbors know we're getting ready to go live with an episode of Shop Talk. The very, very great pleasure of having Mr. Bubba Boswell on with us tonight and sharing his story and his times in motorcycling. You're going to dig this. Let's give some shout outs. Steve Broyles in the house. Paul Adams checking in from Ford City. Robin Hagebottom here with us. John Clark. JPC from Moonshine Hog. XAN Speed. Evil Rick. Okay. Looking good. Everything's filling up. We got 1.5 minutes left. Lots of stuff going on tonight, man. It's going to be great. I'm happy to be here. Like I said, it's warm inside the studio, so I'm happy to be anywhere that there's heat and cover from the snow, and especially with you guys in Shop Talk. Get ready. Don't go anywhere. Shop Talk coming at you. All right, 24 seconds left on the clock. That's enough time for us to get this one out of the station and up on the tracks. Let's go live with tonight's episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine, coming to you live, street level, even with the street. Not 50 floors above, not 50 floors below. We are at street level here at Cycle Source Magazine, world headquarters in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, where they have once again left the back door open, and me and my crew snuck in and we're pulling another show.
We are one step above street level and somebody did not shovel it.
I know, right? How about that?
So,
Dude,
upset about that.
How about Pittsburgh and we have to shovel snow? Yeah. What the F is going on here? I used to be so proud. I was so proud to tell people that in Pittsburgh, my snow shovel was a broom.
Right.
We haven't seen snow like this since the 70s.
So I do want to point out that you lied.
What?
You said it's warm in the office. It is not warm in this office.
Hey, pull your microphone a little bit closer so we can all hear. There you go.
It is not warm in this office. You could hang meat in this joint. It's ridiculous.
Let's not get carried away. But
yeah, when we came in this afternoon, you could hang meat here for
now
sure.
It's pretty nice.
So,
Oh no, it's
And
cold.
did I see Charlie Ransom's
Yes.
name on there?
Ransom is on
Fucking
here.
Charlie Ransom, right
Wow,
on,
shut
dude.
up.
I love it.
Oh.
Love it. Love him, miss him.
So, speaking of people that we love, we are going to take a minute here and talk about a good friend of the show. If you saw when we were first setting up tonight, everything has been absolute craziness here because someone that we all care about very much is in a bad way right now. And we're going to send some mad prayers out for our brother, Big Rick, who is having a rough time of it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. He, hopefully he fights this one, Brandon, Carol.
Yep.
We're so with you right now. It's crazy. Love you, Ricky. It's all we can say. So,
If you pray,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, do it. Do it, man. One of the best people that I know on this earth, you know, would do anything for anybody and just getting his ass kicked right now. So
Ken don't cry much, but I'm going to cry if you don't change subject.
Yeah, let's talk
All right.
motorcycle. Let's talk motor pickles.
let's move on. Let's talk about something else that's been kicking my ass. Like a week ago, Mark and I went to Lead Sled. Can you believe that was only a week ago?
Yeah.
Went to Lead Sled to build a frame. And
it's like going home.
And in a week, well, instead of me talking about it, I'm just going to play it for you. This is what we've been up to for the last week. Chris from CycleSource TV and CycleSource Magazine. I want to bring your attention to a couple things that we're working on. You guys that are early birds for Smokeout, you've been waiting for us to start drawing numbers. By next week, this is going to be full of all of our early birds, and we're going to start pulling for the 13 keys. We got 13 keys to try to start a motorcycle with this year's Smokeout. A beautiful vintage heritage Evo motorcycle, and we're going to have all the names in here, and we're going to draw those. So in hillbilly fashion, we put this thing together in your honor. Another thing that we're working on is over here. This is this year's Twisted Tea build. So you guys have been following along with this. 7 times we have come to the plate with a motorcycle for Twisted Tea to give away to you guys, not for buying a CycleSource magazine, not for buying a Twisted Tea, but because Twisted Tea loves the motorcycle culture so much, and this is their way of saying thank you for letting them be a part of it every year. This one in particular is dear to my heart because we haven't built a chopper since year number 1, and a special tribute to the America 250th birthday. We're building a thing called the Great American Tea Machine. You're not going to want to miss this because we got some great special graphics that are going on this bike, and already you can see the stance of it is beautiful. Thanks to Lowbrow, thanks to Pat from Lead Sled helping out with this, and keep an eye out for updates on the Great American Tea Machine. The Great American Tea Machine that just a couple days ago was a motor and a frame.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what in the actual hell,
The Great American Pile Parts.
whoever saw Daytona, first of all, happening in damn February.
You know, our last big snow was on the way home from Daytona. That was,
dude, that's right.
2011, I think it was.
You know, I'm not going to lie. He had like a little mini meltdown last week. There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way I'm going to get this motorcycle done in this amount of time. And then everything literally just happened. Like the guys at Lowbrow, first of all, I love Lowbrow.
You got to preach this. Preach it.
They're so good. They're so great to work with. I called them and I'm like, hey, Chris has a monster order, like monster order, and I need to pick it up tomorrow. And they're like, well, we can just ship it. I'm like, no, because that'll take a whole extra day.
Yeah.
I need to pick it up tomorrow. And this was at like 4:00 in the afternoon on Tuesday.
Yeah, dude.
And I'll be damned, Jeff and Mikey and everybody over at Lowbrow, they pulled that order together. And when I say monster order, it was a monster order.
It was most of the motorcycle, like for real.
9:00 on Wednesday morning, I got a text message from Jeff saying, hey, your order's ready. You can send Chris over. So Chris drove the 2 hours over to get it, and they were just so good to him.
Oh, and they took me around the shop, and like we got a video coming up of that. It was great. Like, dude, and what a facility! Yeah,
like they're such good guys.
To think about, because You know, Jeff and I were talking about that back in the day when they very first started. Like we were doing tech and stuff with them in the magazine, and like it was in a garage under one of their houses.
Yeah.
That's where Lowbrow started. And like today, dude, it's a facility. It's full on. I mean, like
super cool,
unbelievable. So congratulations for them, and they're good guys too. Like,
there are people that are ogling your toolboxes.
Right on,
Barbie the welder. Gary wants to know how wide your rear wheel is.
What did we go?
You're using a
with
6-inch fender. I know that.
Yeah,
so
6-inch fender. I think it's a 140.
Yeah,
I think so.
140, and it's going to be right there.
Yeah,
like, I think the tire comes in at just at 6 inches, and the fender's 6 1/4. And luckily, like Poppy told me, Metzlers don't spread out. So
Timothy Morton, how do we get in on the giveaways?
You know what?
Twisted Tea Chopper?
I'm glad you asked about that. Let's play another video. Before you know it, it's going to be Daytona.
Oh, geez.
That'll be Sturgis, and we're going to be back to Smokeout.
Smokeout?
Yeah, hey, like next month, we're already starting the advanced ticket sales.
So what do you got planned for the early bird people? Anything special?
What if we gave away a bike?
Like a bicycle?
No, a motorcycle, man.
Shut up. What do you mean? Like a new bike, like an M8, or what? Have you lost your mind?
Bikes are stupid. Let's give them something cool, like one of the early Evos.
Sounds like a plan. The question is, where are you getting an early Evo to give away?
Well, I just happen to have something right over here.
Well,
about something like this.
Where the hell did you get that at?
1995 Heritage Softail.
So what you're saying is I should buy my ticket now?
Wait a minute. Are you seriously talking about giving away my donor bike?
Baby, really? We've been married long enough. It's our motorcycle.
I can't get you to sell a motorcycle, but you're gonna give away one of my motorcycles? Are you kidding me?
Here's the deal. We're giving away this motorcycle. All you have to do is get a weekend package, the early bird special at SmokeoutRally.com, and your name is entered to win this. Want to know how we're going to do it?
How are you going to do it?
We're going to take everybody who buys an early bird ticket and put them in a barrel. Twice a month, we're going to wind up that barrel and pick out a name. 13 names. We're going to get 13 keys for this motorcycle. And Saturday during Smokeout, we're going to bring you on stage. If it starts, it's your bike, man. You take it home. That's it. But listen, I don't want to hear no bitching. Well, don't call me and tell me, hey, man, that thing needed lifters. You screwed me.
It doesn't need lifters.
No crybaby.
Just for the record.
10 years. I'm going to build this bike to sell. This one's your bike.
Oh, well, you two argue. I'm going to order my Smokeout ticket early. So
go to SmokeoutRally.com now. Check it out. I can't believe that 10 years later and she still believes it when I tell her I'm going to sell.
You know what's great?
I
is
just
when
pretend that I
when
do.
you come up with these ideas and we literally figure out how to do it in like 3 seconds.
I know. Doesn't it kind of piss you off though? Because as you're going, no effing way, I'm not doing that. You're like, oh yeah, I can do this. This is how we're gonna do it. And it happens that way every time. He'll be like, hey baby, I have an idea. I'm like, nope, forget it. We can't. We don't have the bandwidth for it.
Listen.
And then he'll let it go for like 20 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll be like, you know what? This is how we can make this happen.
And listen, this is why
it's such bullshit.
This is why I love doing this shit, because Cycle Source Magazine and Smokeout, like it's a hillbilly thing. It really is, and like we see stuff like, Jesse James Dupree, our brother from out at the Full Throttle Saloon. Like he's class. Like everything that he does is cool as shit. He's one of the world's greatest showmen. And he did a whole bike giveaway thing where he brought people up with keys and stuff. And it was all top dollar, like, no expense spared in the whole production of it.
Classy.
Here we are with some wooden roller shit we put together.
Wait a minute. In all fairness, I did order a
30-year-old motorcycle.
I did order a proper raffle roller. However, it was supposed to be here last week, and it still hasn't shipped yet. And the 30-year-old motorcycle is perfect for Smokeout. It's a donor bike. Somebody is going to turn that into a bitchin' motorcycle.
I'm not saying anything bad about that. I think it is perfect. I also think it would have been perfect that instead of a key, if we picked 13 people and the fastest time hot wiring the bike got to keep it. Because that, like I said today, I lose every key I have for a motorcycle.
Yeah, right.
You got to learn a couple.
If you ever see him with keys, just take them away.
Funny, I never had a key. Come to think of it.
All right, listen. Everybody's giving me shit for not answering the phone. Did you hear that I'm literally building a bike in 30 days right now. There's not a lot of time for phone time there. It's just saying.
He's just jealous because I'm never answer his calls.
Tim, real quick, let me answer Tim Morton's question about the Twisted Tea bike. Once that's done and we do the proper unveil in Daytona, you'll be able to go to twistedtea.com and cyclesource.com and enter to win. No purchase necessary. You just got to give them a little bit of your info, some DNA, your firstborn. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Just a little bit of info and you're entered to win. Again, no purchase necessary.
So listen, if this is your first time watching Shop Talk, thanks for tuning in. Where the hell have you been? This is 333 times we've gone live with this show. Every Sunday, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, we have another dose of it. Basically, it's the live iteration of everything we do in Cycle Source magazine that we have been doing now for 29 years on this planet, which I cannot believe myself.
Isn't that the definition of insanity?
Yeah, doing the same thing over and over. I don't want different results, though. That's why it's not crazy. Like, I'm good with it just like it is.
You know what shocks me is we actually get results. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
So listen, tune in every Sunday at 9 p.m. If you're wondering what the show is going to be about, we're going to give you a good dose of it tonight, but it basically it adds up to some feature bikes, some tech. We talk about new motorcycles, motorcycle people. We have a guest or two on. We have a good time. Start the whole thing off with a little segment we call
The News.
There we go. She's hitting her cues tonight, Martin. We're good to go.
She's on it, Johnny.
Okay, first up in the news tonight, and this in from our only source for news tonight, Cycle Source Magazine's World Report. This is our only news story tonight. Super slow world of motorcycling this week.
It's frozen.
A modern take on a historic icon. Indian motorcycle pays homage to an American classic with the new 2026 Indian Chief Vintage. Everyone is raving about this bike already. Taking design cues from the 40s, 2026 Indian Chief Vintage recalls the style and craftsmanship of America's golden age of motorcycling. It is a beautiful looking motorcycle.
I think they did a stellar job.
Indian's been doing great with everything that they're doing. The only thing that I thought was odd about this is when you're looking at this motorcycle, undeniably it calls to Indian's history.
Mm-hmm.
They never mention, and I'm going to pull up a message because I was messaging with Kiwi Mike when we were getting ready for the show. So Paul DuPont, when Indian had the merger with DuPont Motors, he was the guy that brought the auto influence in that came with big skirted fenders. Yeah. And Kiwi said that Briggs Weaver was the actual designer who made the skirted iconic Indian fenders. And that a lot of people believe that like that single thing, that Art Deco styling that came along with those fenders was the thing that really
made it,
gave Indian a personality. Like that's what gave them that. And undeniably this vintage flashback model, that's what gives it. You can tell from a mile away that that's Indian right there.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. I was also, aside from the aesthetic and how they melded the old and the new, I was really impressed with the price point. $19,900.
Yeah.
Like, way to go, Indian.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We're sitting here every week talking about how we need lower price points to get more people, more average people, more younger people into the sport of motorcycling. $20,000, that's a whole lot of motorcycle for $20,000.
Yes, it is.
And I think just like you, I mean, I love all motorcycles. Harley always, runs a little bit deeper, but I don't know many people that have ridden in Indian that don't love it.
Yeah.
Right.
And they feel guilty. They feel guilty about loving it. Even you were like, man, I don't want to like this motorcycle.
Yeah, my cousin's husband came up to me at Christmas and apologized because he's switching teams. He said
he's switching.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't have to apologize to me. Like everybody's feeling that heat right now.
So I feel like I should give a little apology because I call Mike, Kiwi Mike, and he's not an answer. And so I start texting with him and he tells me, he says, "Hey mate, give me about an hour." He says, "I'm in New Zealand." I have no idea what time it is there, but here I am busting his balls like, "Hey man, I need this information."
I think at that time it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
Poor Mike. He has had to put up with the dumbest shit for me over my years. And he's the guy.
He still loves you.
Oh, he's such a nice guy. I just love those people.
And every time I think about him, I can just hear his voice. Mate, you know what the problem with your Holly is. You know what the problem with your Holly is.
And he will never, ever let you live down the fact that he had to save you.
I know.
No, of course.
I know. And worse yet, he saved me on a 1948 Indian Chief, and I was riding a modern Harley-Davidson. We were in Death Valley.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Long
He
story.
saved me first, though.
But anyway, listen, we got a great show coming up for you. Our guest is waiting in the wings. Mr. Bubba Boswell is going to be coming on. We're going to take a real quick break and take a look at a cool feature bike. When we come back from that, we're going to go straight to Bubba. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
James Berry. All my friends call me Fish Tank from Merrimack, New Hampshire. So this is my 1970 Triumph Bonneville. Built it first time back in 2011. This is my second time around, back down to frame and reimagined something else. I've been on a purple kick for a while, been wanting to do a purple chopper, and I had this kind of sitting around, and I was ready to kind of turn it into something else and something new. So the bars, they're your standard ape hangers. There's traditional Triumph style, 7/8 diameter. But they add for a nice comfortable ride, keep your arms up and kind of, knuckles in the breeze. It's a little bit wider than I typically would build. I like skinny, narrow, like lane splitters, but these are by far the more comfortable than the rabbit ears. Picked up a little kind of lowrider bicycle mirror online. Clamps right onto 7/8, just like a bicycle diameter, so it worked really well. Had the purple reflectors on it, so I had to have it. And the added bonus was that little bit of twist in it. First time I ever saw this bike, I hadn't really seen much vintage Triumphs around here. And typically when they're all together, they're restored and, nothing worth chopping up. I found this, a buddy of mine had it in his basement. It was basically just a roller and a frame, and I offered him a little bit of cash for it, and we actually ended up building it together the first time around. First time around, it took a few years, probably like a good 5 or 6 years. I had children in between there, moved a couple times, so life always kind of gets in the way, but I just would always just box up whatever I had and move it to the next spot and unload it and kind of pick away at it some more. So using the drum front wheel, I just thought it was really iconic for the Triumph, that front vented drum. I love, obviously, the power of hydraulic disc, but I felt for the whole bike in itself, having the drums front and rear, I think just would have kind of kept it, I want to say original, while still staying chopped up. Yeah, so the dual cam drum race upgrade, found it at an old shop that used to be down in Nashua, and I didn't know anything about it at the time, but I knew it fit my axle size, fit the front end, and I've been running it ever since. And since then I've learned, about the racing drums versus your standard, kind of everyday brake drums. So to have the vented front end and air-cooled is something else, because the rear brake doesn't do so great. I do a lot of my stopping and holding power with my front brake, so having that was detrimental for safety. So when I was going back through this bike, it was right around October time, and I was getting into picking the color, and I didn't want to I don't really like theme bikes, but I really love when bikes have names. I just think that's a really cool feature. Adds a little bit of personality to the bike. So it was around October, the witchy season. When I was a little kid, I used to watch all the old black and whites with my grandmother, and Bewitched was always in that lineup. So it was just very fitting with the purple and it's the violet color, and being from the New England area, Massachusetts, kind of fit the vibe a little bit. And it's just a perfect name, I think, for a chopper. I'm James Berry from Merrimack, New Hampshire, and you're watching Cycle Source TV.
In a world full of ordinary, there's still a place where motorcycles are built with soul, where craftsmanship matters, where every bike is a story waiting to be told. And in 2026, Cycle Showcase St. Louis returns to where it all began, the pageant, the original home of this now iconic show. Every machine hand-picked, every build a masterpiece of design, engineering, and passion. It's not just a show, it's a gathering, a chance to meet the makers, hear their stories, and feel the heartbeat of true motorcycle.
Oh, nice. Paul Yaffe product, huh?
Yeah, man, so excited.
Got a new build?
I do. It's. Aren't you Paul Yaffe?
No, I've never met the guy. But I do know you can get all of his products at DennisKirk.com.
There you go.
Is this me? Awesome. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Listen to Not Paul Yaffe. Get all your Bagger Nation products right now at DennisKirk.com.
Hey, it's Billy from Twisted Tea. We're live in Sturgis, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Okay, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. You are watching Shop Talk. I do believe that girl in that last commercial was smuggling something under that vest.
Stop it already.
I don't know, but all I know is that during this deep freeze, Milwaukee leather is my new best friend because I have a heated hoodie. It is the most amazing piece of apparel I have in my closet.
Wasn't that last week's new product? On Snowmageddon.
It was.
And she has not taken that effing thing off, dude.
Yep.
It's a 3-setting electric
it's
like
so
vest
good.
hoodie, but it has its own battery pack. So you can just walk around with it on.
Yeah.
I have to tell her to take it off to get into bed.
No. The only thing that would make it better is if it were a onesie. Because then it's just so great. Milwaukee leather, I love you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Clint Kittle, oh my God, the T-Dragger. Yeah.
Yeah, but I almost feel like we should take a moment of silence for the T-Dragger.
So, hey, y'all, if you win a Twisted Tea motorcycle and you don't want it, sell it to somebody that does or that will take care of it. Because the scoundrel that won the T-Dragger
left it in a shed.
Left it outside in Florida. And when I say it's unrecognizably rusted, it is disgrace. That beautiful, beautiful shovel head. Oh, if I get my hands on you. Oh.
Becky says, turn up the heat in the house, Chris. Yeah.
You have to understand, if it's below like 74 degrees, I'm cold.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm actually working on getting her a human-sized heat rock for the middle of the living room. But until then, the Milwaukee Leathers hoodie is saving her ass. So listen, man, very, very few companies make it to major milestones, 25, 50 years, 75 years.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine 75 years, the amount of shit that's changed.
Could you imagine doing Cycle Source for 75 years?
Shut up.
Nope.
Well, you're almost at 30.
Yeah, 30. Listen, 30, I could have killed somebody and been out 3 times. That's what I'm saying. So, no, but tonight's guest has an illustrious history of motorcycling and some great stories to share.
I remember the first time I met Bubba Boswell.
Yeah.
It was at Hohenwald, Tennessee, and they were doing the Hooligan racing with Billy Lane, Sons of Speed. And he came out and whooped everybody's ass. Like he did. And
took the helmet off, right?
The kids on his team were like not even half, like a quarter of his age. And he spanked them. And I was like, yes.
Get down,
it was
baby.
So good. So good.
Yeah, man. So we're fortunate enough to have him in the studio tonight. Let's get him on right now and get some stories. Bubba, how you doing, man?
I'm great. Boss, it's cold. It's cold.
It is, huh? Tennessee doesn't see weather like this too often.
Man, it's been pretty brutal for 8 days, but we'll get through it. Daytona's what, 30 days away?
Oh,
28.
that sends a shiver down my spine while you're saying that.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait. I mean, I'm totally pumped to get to Daytona.
Yeah. Every year, man, like it's funny. You would think as long as I've been doing this, because I've been doing Daytona a little bit longer than I've been doing the magazine. Jesus.
A couple of years over
But
earlier.
you think that you would, it would start to wear down a little bit. And man, as the calendar starts clicking off and we get closer and closer, I get excited just like every time we ever have gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, every year I go back to, I don't know if I'll ever go back again. About December, it starts kicking me in. January, it's all in. February, it's 30 days today. I thought today, man, 30 days, I got to get a place to stay. I mean, I'm getting it all in my head to get ready to go to Daytona. And, I mean, you got to go.
Yeah,
somebody better turn the furnace on down there.
Oh, dude.
It's cold
I
down
heard
there,
it was
too.
25 in Daytona today.
Yeah.
It was only
They got a
29
month to
in
get it right before we get there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they got 30 days to get shit straight.
Bubba, what do you look forward to the most down there?
It's just seeing people. I mean, I just like seeing people, and of course I'm a racer, and I like racing, and I like going to the AFT flat track races. They put on a good show. I like the King of Bagger stuff. Harley does a great job with that. But I still get a thrills out walking up and down Main Street, just looking at people and bikes. I mean, I just get the thrill doing that, and go to the speedway, see what's going on there. It's a magical place just to go and just see motorcycles.
Yeah, I think sometimes because I find myself getting burnt out on the Main Street thing. Just because sometimes it's just a lot. It's just a lot, like I find myself going more every year for the stuff like the Sons of Speed and, the stuff at the track and the little small stuff that goes on that, isn't advertised and people don't know about, like a buddy of ours does a chili thing at his garage and, handful of people were invited to that.
The hot dog party.
But I think we take for granted sometimes, like, how lucky we are to have, those few big gatherings like Daytona, like Sturgis, where you can go and see just about everybody and every damn thing that there is in the motorcycle world right now.
I just like going. One thing I love to go to, and people that go to it, I just like going to the swap meet. I can spend 2 days at the swap meet and walk out, it was stuff you had no intentions of buying. And you walk out and you got $500, $1,000 worth of stuff, and you're thinking, well, how the hell am I going to get it home?
Yeah, Chris
is always buy something, always.
Yeah.
Chris is only allowed to go to the swap meet when he leaves his wallet with me.
Yeah, but then he owes everybody money after that. That's the sucky. See, there's where you learn not to go to the swap meet with Chris after Heather took his wallet.
Well, no, and actually the problem is if he goes with me. Like the last time I went to a swap meet with him, we left it with a panhead.
So, I mean, how safe is my wallet?
Yeah.
So
I went to the swap meet 2 years ago, and I tell my brother-in-law was with me. And I left my money in the car. It was kind of a crappy day, so we drove the truck. And I looked at it. I said, I ain't gonna buy nothing. I'll just leave it I was gonna leave it in the car. I ain't gonna mess with it. When I got out, man, I borrowed $1,000 from him. I had to bum $1,000 from him because I bought all this stuff, and I got back to the truck. I had to pay him.
Well, did he charge you interest?
Huh?
Did he charge you interest?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Hey, I want to go to the swap meet with him next year.
Yeah.
So,
hey, listen.
So you were pretty much born into motorcycling, Bubba.
Yes.
Tell us how you came up.
Man, my dad was just a motorcycle nut, loved Harley-Davidson, and my mother loved motorcycles. And, my dad started a business in Henderson, Kentucky, and it was really during a very difficult time. My grandfather was totally against my dad being in the motorcycle business. And I'll never forget the story. It's a great story. It's at The first year in business, he didn't sell any motorcycles. And the second year in business, he sold 3 motorcycles. And the next year in business, his third year, he had a bad year. He didn't sell any new motorcycles, and he repossessed the ones he sold the previous year.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
And then, you know, my grandfather was giving him hell about it. Wasn't no good, wasn't this, you know. And then the next year, he sold 5 motorcycles to the police department. And it was off to the races after that. Took off.
Huh.
And, you know, I was about 14 years old, and I'll never forget it. We were at a family reunion. And my grandfather was there, and we were talking, you know, I had a Harley-Davidson shirt on or something. And my grandfather was bragging how it was all his idea, how my father got in the motorcycle business.
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I never forget that. My dad just looked over at him, and, you know, he was taking of course, he was taking all the credit for it,
Yeah.
you know, as grandparents do. And but it's kind of how it started. I mean, we're just a motorcycle family, you know, just what we are.
You know, and that's I was lucky enough to grow up around names like Zepka and Serini, you know, that were long time motorcycle families too.
Yeah.
And you know, that was something that, again, I think we took for granted here, that was commonplace, because, you know, those were that was just how it was. You know, I can remember Babe Serini's place. There was a set of stairs that went up to the family house.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And on the left side was the parts department of the stairway. On the right side was the service department. And the treads on those stairs from 2 generations of kids going up and down those stairs, going to school and going to the store and going to everything that they went to do, they were wore into the shape of a U.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that family lived and died in that building, and, you know, made the family money. Hell, Babe, I think, till the year that they started, and it was pretty close to 2000 when they put the big Harley dealership by the highway. He had still had his old Panhead sidecar that he ran the whole family around, and he refused to even have a new motorcycle.
Yeah,
you know,
he couldn't justify it.
Right,
that's the problem, because they came up from we were the same way. My folks couldn't justify a new motorcycle. In their mind, they just couldn't do it because they were riding an older one. It's just a different era. I mean, you just don't see that as much today as you did back then.
The feel, just when you go into places like that, the feel, how they treat you, the atmosphere, it's very homely in like Serini and all that. When you went in there, you felt that, man. You walked in there and there was pride that was inside that place.
After I was a young man and stopped taking my chopper there, because the first thing I felt was fear, because he would throw you the hell off the property. Yeah. He made us park our choppers across the street.
Yeah.
I feel like those days are going to come back, guys. I feel like that the motorcycle shop. I think it's a wheel that turns. And I think we're looking, and I see the motorcycle shop making a comeback. I do.
I sure hope you're right. I really do, because I'll tell you what, like, you know, as an example of how family and community oriented shops like that were, you know, later on in life, they moved the dealership up to the highway, and Babe and his wife stayed there.
Yeah.
You know, and even though that all the Harley stuff went up the road, he had a whole like row of 3 different display cases that were filled with penny candy, and basically they were just there to entertain the neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like it was a really important part of a lot of us growing up, was that environment, like Mark said, at the motorcycle shop. Yeah. It was a really important part of it.
Yep.
You know, I grew up in basically in the 70s. And I mean, the motorcycle scene was just huge in the 70s, especially if you were a kid. You know, you went to the Honda shop, the Yamaha shop, you know, you went to different brands of shops where they had dirt bikes, this, that, and the other. And it was just a place where you were kind of welcome to go to. And and then the business has changed so dramatically to where, you know, it's gotten a little bit, to me, not as personal as it should be.
Right.
But I feel that it's going to come back, and I think it's coming back. I really do. I think it is coming back to where the motorcycle shop will be a hub of community, a hub of activity for the riders, regardless of brand. I think you'll see. I know you're going to see that. I really believe that.
Dude, and I remember going to even Spirit once, the Pittsburgh Harley-Davidson, the Spirit, going there was like, you didn't even go there for Harley stuff. You went there to hang out for a minute.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It was fun. It was like a bit of a party. There was a spot in the back where, people would meet. And when I opened my first shop, it was right next door to Spirit. And like, dude, it was like being home. The people I had a refrigerator. Half the mechanics had food in my refrigerator and we were back and forth constantly. And that went away. It turned into corporate and it almost hurt to go there,
That
sucks.
The place he's talking about, Bubba, was Lou Bacon's, what Lou Bacon's old place became was Spirit Harley-Davidson.
Yeah.
Bubba, was there ever a time in your life where you didn't want to pursue the family business, where you were like, yeah, I don't want to spend my life in motorcycling? Did that ever cross your mind?
No, not really. I'm a motorcycle guy, and I was born a motorcycle guy, and I will die a motorcycle guy.
Right on.
That's awesome.
I like every brand of motorcycle. I really do, and I own other brands of motorcycles. But in me, there's only one brand I love, and that's a Harley-Davidson.
Yeah.
And so no, I'll die a Harley rider.
Right on.
I will.
Now you've seen, like you were talking, everything is cyclical. Spending your life in Harley-Davidson with your family, you've seen so many ups and downs over your lifetime. I mean, essentially you've not seen, done anything else. Where do you think the lowest point was, and where do you think we're at right now?
That's a great question, and I'm going to answer it as truthfully as I can possibly do. Is that, the AMF years were tough, but to credit to AMF, they did give them enough money to survive.
Amen.
And if it wasn't for the riders and the dealers and the loyalty of the brand, it would have never survived. The quality was that bad. You guys know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, during the buyback from AMF, that really gave it a shot in the arm. I think Von Bills and Willie G and that group of investors went all in. And the timing, I mean, they had the magic to make this thing work. And they got the dealer network to buy in behind them. And then they also got their customers to buy into them. That was the big deal. People wanted Harley to survive. They wanted them to win. And the win they did. I mean, I can't think of a bigger party ever than the 100th anniversary in Milwaukee. That was a phenomenal event. I mean, go to the 100. But from that day and from the buyback, they were always looking at 100 years, and they made it there. And then we got to the point where, things got a little tough. They had some great products, man. Harley has some great products, and with the twin cams and some things they did. And then we get into, Harley seems to run into these patches, every 15 years or so that we kind of, veer off. We kind of veered off in 2020, and then that turned out to be a really tough time for a lot of people. But I really believe Artie Starrs, this new CEO of Harley, I really like this guy, and I really like what he's doing, and I really like where he's going. He's opening the history books of Harley.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's going back to what worked really well. And one of the big things he did is he brought Bill Davidson in. And Bill Davidson is a very vocal part of Davidson today. And this company needs Bill Davidson. We need Karen Davidson. We need institutional knowledge to that company. But Artie Stars is seeing that. I think I got a really good feeling about the future of Harley-Davidson.
No, and you know what, man? That's I love so much about what you just said. You know what I mean? Because like starting with Von Bills and everything that went on with AMF and just giving AMF the credit for survival, you know, to put the company in the position that they did. And, you know, and the practicality about what you're saying about what motorcycling always has been, because that's the thing that I was talking about, you know, the Serini family. I can remember when Howard and his brother owned that, you know, well, I remember the stories Howard telling me of him and his brother taking turns. Part of the day, Howard would leave to go drive school bus. Yeah. He'd come back to run the dealership, and his brother would go 10 bar. You know, and that was like you said, the years when you didn't make money on motorcycles, and that was a commitment that came from the love of motorcycles. You know, and people ask us all the time, like, you know, how is it that we're 29 years and we're still publishing a motorcycle magazine? It's because we love what we're doing here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of other things you can make way more money at, but very few things that you're gonna lead a life that's as enriched with memories and people and, you know, the spice of life, man. And it happens in motorcycles.
I want to tell you, let me just give you a little bit of what I think is true, Chris, is that while you've made it 29 years, excuse me, it's because you're real.
Oh, yep. I appreciate
that. You guys are real. And the customers and your followers know you're real. And when they know you're real, they're going to stick with you. The ones that aren't real or just posers or just people out there just trying to make a buck off the motorcycle business and go away, the customers feel it and they don't patronize that store or those brands.
Yeah, right.
And so I think that's a thumbs up to all three of you. And congratulations, man. 29 years, long time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's no kidding. Hey,
you know, and it's not to like cut you off, Chris, but it hasn't been easy. And just like he was saying with getting in the bus, going to drive the bus or going to the bar, to watch so many things outside of just a publication. But you're right. That's what makes it is this is 100% real. Just like you were saying, Harley being, you know, it became a way of life. Culture way of life, even with AMF. I mean, look what AMF did, but now AMF are some desired bikes. People want those bikes, you know. I'm pretty proud of the AMF FXR I have, just for the point of it may have been the lowest point, but it was the point that it survived through, you know, and that to me is, you know, sort of pretty cool. I think that shows the survival factor right there.
Hey, and he said just a minute ago about, you know, I've heard from the inside that part of Artie's plan is to make Bill and Karen both a more significant part of the company again and put them out there. And like, that absolutely needs to happen. Yeah. People need to see, like, one of the things that always made Harley so endearing through the generations was these were people that rode these machines. These were people that lived this life. God, I can't tell you how many times I saw Willie G and Nancy out at an event and they never got tired of hanging out with people. They did it more than like it was their job. It was like their life's blood. You know, they loved this culture.
And they loved the crazy. That was the, you know what I mean? Like the Dark Customs in New York City, like they literally, dude, they put up with us. They spent the whole evening with us. We should have literally been arrested that night. And those guys had a blast. They were like, we're having so much fun. They bought pizza. We had a food fight, you know, and like we had so much fun and they laughed and loved them and thanked us for coming at the end.
And Karen, man, Karen is just absolutely the best. Like if you've never had an opportunity to ride with that woman and spend time with her, like she's a blast. Yeah. She's an absolute blast. And I couldn't think of a better business model than to put her back in touch with the general public and show them where Harley's heart is. So Artie gets big stars for that from us.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
So I have a question. You've seen almost every motor model come through. What's your favorite? Shovelhead, Evo, twin cam, knucklehead, panhead?
You know, oh man. To me, the best sounding motor ever made is an Iron Sportster with drag pumps.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
I mean, I'm just sorry. A 4-cam Iron Sportster with a set of drag pipes is to me is the epitome of a Harley-Davidson. Yeah, there's shovels that sound good, the potato, all that. the best sounding motorcycle engine in the world is an XR 750. No doubt.
Yeah,
There's nothing close to an XR 750 as far as the sound of a motorcycle. But, I like them all. I really do. I can't, they all do things different and they all have a little different sound, but, I just like them all. And my garage will tell you that. If it wasn't 10 degrees outside, that's where I'd be.
Well, and I think too, like the just the fact that you list as your daily rider, you're on a Pan American as your daily rider right now. Is that what I got out of the thing?
Well, I tell you, man, I dig it. A Pan America's a great bike. They've got a few little ins and outs and whatnots, but it's a good motorcycle. There's my dad, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but a Pan America is a great bike. It gets Harley into another segment that's growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just stupid how much the adventure touring business is growing in this country and growing in the world. It's a great bike. And the reason I ride it so much is because I can ride it and get it dirty and I don't care.
Yeah, and you know what's great about that too? Like we talked about this quite openly. My fear when they first started talking about the Pan America was that it was going to be a revisit of the Buell Ulysses. And I was one, like I loved Buell. I loved everything that Buell ever did. Even the shit that was wrong. I loved that it was different. I loved the aggressive way that Eric went after stuff. But the Ulysses was just, man, it was just such a big, heavy motorcycle, and it was just out of place as a true adventure bike. So when I first got on that Pan America, man, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe how complete night and day that was from anything that Harley had ever tried before.
I don't think Harley's got to sell a lot of them. I think Harley, and they do sell a good number of them, but I think it just shows the world Harley's more than a chopper or a cruiser.
Right.
Yeah.
It shows that we can do other things.
Yep.
I tell you, one of the best bikes I got on my stable, I like to ride a lot. I like the XR 1200. I think that's just a beautiful motorcycle.
Yeah. That had a really short life though, right?
The what?
That had a short life. Like,
I think it's like a lot of Harleys. It was a little ahead of its time.
Yeah.
The old Cafe Racer, the 77 model.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it was a little ahead of its time.
Man, I was just at Bears in Ohio, and I was privileged enough that, he was dismantling his museum, but we got to take a nice tour, and he showed the 3 different tail sections that Harley-Davidson did, the evolution of the tail section that eventually led to the 750s, right, to the race bikes. And it was so cool. He had the way he had it laid out. It was all right there, man, right down the line. He went from the boat tail to the cafe to the racer. It was incredible.
I mean, those boat tails, remember those things? You couldn't give those things away.
Right?
Yeah.
I saw one at Mecum over the weekend bring $29,000.
Wow. That's what I said. Like, you look at some of that old stuff, and like it sunk into people's hearts and became, like I said, that the AMF. Like, I love that FXR. Like, to me, it's a little bit different than all the rest of them, and it hasn't moved in years, but it's so hard to let it go now.
I keep trying to get him to move it over to my garage.
I think an FXR, it was another bike, I think a little ahead of its time.
Yep.
But really, a really good motorcycle.
Yep.
I mean, the last year of the Shovelhead, like the 83 and a half, 84s. Those were the best shovel heads ever made.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what this is too.
Hands down. They were the best shovel heads ever made. And I had an 83 FXRT and I rode the wheels off of it and I didn't do nothing to it.
Yeah.
It was a great motorcycle.
So real quick, Bob, I want to mention that there's a lot of people giving a lot of love and stuff on the messages on the sidebar over here. You probably have to go back and read those, but a couple of them, like Nico Molitieri says, Bubba, can't wait to see the old school shops come back. That's what I love about you and Betsy, all your vintage stuff and the history you have in Harley-Davidson. So a lot of great people or great comments people are putting up here for you guys. You have to check it out again later on after the show.
I know that guy. He's pretty old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the things Bubba has going for ship is he understands that community still matters. That it's the motorcycle community.
This thing isn't
like,
shit without the community.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Not.
And he gets that, and that's important to him. Like, like the first thing he said going to Daytona, it's seeing the people.
That's right.
You know, and seeing what's out there, and like that is so important. And I sincerely hope the dealerships that have kind of lost their way with that are bringing that back. You know, I know so many dealerships that every Saturday morning they would have like the coffee and the donuts, and the same group of guys would come every Saturday morning, and they would meet before they went for their ride. And so many of them have done away with that. I really hope that
we went through a period
where
they
start to steer them back to that community.
We went through a period where people took that shit for granted, and they would show up to see what was free this weekend.
Right.
You know what I mean? They wanted free beer, they wanted free pig roast and everything, and they didn't understand that usually started with the guy that owned the shop had a little barbecue grill behind the shop, and he would make hamburgers for everybody on Saturday. Like it was just part of it. It wasn't a marketing ploy to get you in the shop.
I think it's just part of the community of you care. I think it's called you care.
Yeah.
And you want your business or your house, you know, and to be honest with you, a Harley-Davidson dealership to me is your house. Okay. And you want your house to you want your guests to come to your house and have a good time. And you know, and I think, Heather, that's what I can get back. That's why they do those things. I think a lot of dealers have taken it for granted. But like I said, it's going to come back around, guys. I'm telling you, this business has changed so much in the last 3 years that you're going to see an enormous change in this business over the next 5 years.
I think that's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah.
We're all so hopeful for what Artie and the new regime is going to do.
Absolutely. Especially,
we're genuinely excited.
I'm
about
sorry.
it.
I've been openly opposed to the last guy.
Yeah.
And like every week on the show I said something else about the tennis shoe king and the shit that he was pulling. I don't care what they think about that. So I have a lot of hope for Artie, and I understand that he's a quality human being. Like people that I really respect and look up to think the world of him. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, we all are. We gotta be.
Yeah. Yep. So what is going on in this picture right here? Tell me about this, because this is another brand from the past.
You know, so this is me. My nephew's kind of a unique guy. And so we were going out to ride motorcycles with some really great motorcycle riders out in Tombstone, Arizona. Former national champion Bubba Schobert was there, and other flat track guys. Wayne Rainey showed up. I mean,
no kidding.
It was a big deal, man. So I went to it, and I was a little intimidated, as should be, but I had a great time. And so we decided to go to ride the sand dunes.
Yeah.
And if you've never ridden a motorcycle in sand dunes, it's a unique. It's either you don't let off the throttle.
Oh yeah,
it's
right.
WFO the whole way. Okay.
Lean back and wide open.
Don't let. If you let off the throttle, you go over the handlebars.
Right.
So I went to sand dunes and I parked my bike to get a picture, and when I took off, it just sunk. So my nephew takes the picture, and that's it. About 30 minutes after this, I hit a rock and break my foot.
Oh no!
And so I had to ride like 2 hours back to our trailer with a broken foot. Right. And my nephew said, "Don't take that boot off. Don't take that boot off."
No. Yeah, right.
Well, I got back to the truck and I took the boot off, and that wasn't good.
Oh no!
But I'm healed up and I'm ready to go again. No big deal.
So have you always been a Husky man?
No, you know, I've always respected Husqvarna's. I thought if I'm going to ride a dirt bike, I'm going to buy a Husky. So I bought a Husky. I own two of them. I race a Husky, and I got a Husky 501 and a 250, and I also have a KTM 890 I ride too.
Oh yeah.
I've listened. Again, where we grew up, we're lucky because this was motorcycle rich environment, and right down the street from us is a little Yamaha dealership that used to be Husky called Lowjacks, And still to this day, Ed Lojack is the winningest cross-country racer there's ever been.
Yeah.
And, man, getting hooked on Huskies when I was a kid in western Pennsylvania and riding those things through the woods here, you could literally just ride up a tree.
Yes.
With, like, the old Husky 490s and shit. They were the greatest woods bikes, man.
Just don't drop it. You have to pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the world's oldest teenager.
Listen, it's so great though,
Yeah.
because I tell Heather a lot of times that, like, you know, I want to go do this and I want to go do that, and I've raced at Bonneville and I've raced, you know, Sons of Speed, and I question myself every once in a while if I'm getting too old for that, and I see guys fall down and get hurt and everything, and then I see somebody like you, man, Jesus God, you're fast on a motorcycle to begin with, and you have seemingly no fear.
You know, when you're out there racing, and it's if you get a good start, you're gonna give it all you got. If you have a bad start, if you get older like me, you just kind of ride around and do the best you can.
Yeah.
But if you get a good start, it's game on.
It's on.
Does your wife get nervous when you race?
The what?
Does your wife get nervous?
She don't go to the races. She got scared.
Yeah.
But Betsy's a great motorcycle rider. She rides her own bike. She's a really good rider. And I think she thinks I'm going to get hurt. Because I have come home hurt a couple of times. Okay.
Just once or twice.
You know, when you race motorcycles and you fall, you never tell it. You always get up. You may be hurt like hell.
Right.
I mean, you're ready to cry like a 3-year-old, but you just can't show it.
That's it.
You can't show it. And so when you're tough, you're badass, you're everything. I don't need no Advil. I don't need nothing. I'm ready to go. And you go out there and you load up and you get in your car or the truck and you're by yourself and you step there and you just cry like you just
yeah, right.
Yep.
That is so
you
true.
Say, what the hell am I doing? Why'd I do this?
Yeah, what is wrong with me?
Yeah. No, I've been there for, like, if Chris is racing, I'm there. Like, it's one of those things. And at the beginning, I was nervous. Like, when he was on Bonneville, I was nervous. And then when he got up to the line, and same thing with Sons of Speed and, you know, the couple other races he's done, I'm like, you know what? If you're going to do this, do it like you mean it. Like, just go out there and go after it. Don't half-ass it. Do it like you mean it. Get it. Because I couldn't think, like, if he's going to get hurt and go out, like, he's going to go out doing what he loves. And I'd rather have him go out that way than sitting in an easy chair when he's 90.
Okay, so she said this to me, Bubba, as I'm sitting on a 1916 Harley-Davidson that a buddy of mine owns, getting ready to go out on a banked oval track to race Sons of Speed. She tells me, don't go out and be a pussy. If you're going to do this, do it for real.
I didn't say it like that because I would never say the P word, just for the record.
She's 100% right.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to go out there, first thing you don't want to look bad. You don't want to be the person that's last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So, but if you go out there and you're scared, just don't go out there.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're making it
No,
dangerous
you're
for
going to hurt
everyone.
you or hurt yourself.
Right.
Or somebody else.
Well, yeah,
okay?
if you're scared, you're going to hurt somebody else. And I've seen
Right.
too
Just
many
go out there
people.
and do the best you can without being scared.
Now, if it was their 1919 Harley, should have been like, go real slow. Don't go around the bend too
I
fast.
will
Don't
say
hurt that motorcycle.
thankfully, when he races, it's on somebody.
I would be scared to death to be riding a 1919 Harley-Davidson around a racetrack.
Right.
Cold, asphalt. I've had a chance to ride Sons of Speed down there at Volusia County, or I think that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Man, I went out there and I went, man, I ain't gonna do this.
Oh man, listen, there's nothing
That's
like
clay
it.
there,
I've never felt anything like it, man.
Yeah.
Like, and especially the last race that I was in there, I raced the 45, I raced hot 61s, or and then I raced the pea shooter class. And I got to ride so much that day that I really, really got in the groove. And by the end of the day, I was drafting Michael Lang. And I mean,
Michael's fast as hell.
Yeah, I'm never gonna beat Michael Lang, but the fact that I was kind of keeping pace with him, I was in a solid second to Michael Lang. I'll tell that story till the day I'm dead.
Yeah.
The thing about those bikes, I know there's no rule.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody, there's a lot of cheating going on down there.
Yeah. I can't speak to the cheating. They do advertise that it's outlaw racing.
That's
the
right.
only thing that I would like to see different, because Chris wants to go back to the track and race, which I'm totally okay with. The only thing I would like to see different is the less experienced riders in a different class.
Right.
Because I've seen too
Separate
many
them.
times where they're either not experienced enough or they're scared.
And the super fast
and
guys
they
come
do
around.
put the super fast
Well,
guys in danger. And that would be the only thing I'd like to see different.
And that's what Bubba was saying earlier too. If you're going to go out there and you're not going to give it your all, or you're going to be a little bit scared, you're almost putting everybody on that track at risk.
Yeah.
Don't do it. You know.
So, like, I think Radar is like the third or fourth person that says Bubba needs to come to Smokeout.
Oh.
I think I second that.
Yeah.
Bubba, you need to come to the Smokeout Rally in Salisbury, North Carolina.
We need
I
to.
want to do that. John Jessup has told me 2 or 3 times I need to come to
Oh,
that.
you need to come.
Yep,
You
gotta
need
go.
to
Well,
come,
listen,
please.
we're trying. Hopefully, we actually been talking to a company that also has an Artie Stars working for them. We're trying to maybe get a little hooligan deal together, because we already do a pretty awesome
Dirt drags.
straight out dirt drag,
Yeah,
and we do a
super
shithouse
fun.
dirt drag.
Who's the other Artie Stars is what I want to know.
What's that?
Who's that other Artie Star?
Well, there's not another one. I just said that's the company happens to have an Artie Stars that works for them.
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to get Harley to help
We're
us
trying to
out
get
with that.
some more support from Harley-Davidson.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, right. But either way, we would love to have you at Smokeout.
it'd
It's
be
a
awesome.
hell of a good
I'm
time.
going. When is it?
September
September.
10th through 13th this year.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Right
I'll
on.
be there.
Right on.
That's
I'll
awesome.
be in.
So what's next for Bubba? Like, I know you alluded.
Smokeout.
Well, he's got plenty of time between now and then. You alluded to you may have some news for us today.
Uh-oh.
Well, the news was just the new 26 model bikes. I think Harley's done really well with the new
Yes.
bikes. That new trike is pretty badass.
Yeah, everybody's so happy about that because there was this whole hullabaloo that they
Oh, yeah,
weren't
there
going to
was
be
some
doing
mad
a trike
people.
this year. They weren't going to be doing a trike, and people were pissed.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, well,
there's a trike, and it's beautiful.
I got to ride that in September, and I want to tell you, they did a really good job with that bike. That's a really good trike. Now, I'm not old enough for a trike, but if I was, I would buy one.
Yeah.
Right on. That's great.
This
There's an old saying. You got to draw Social Security to ride a trike. I don't know about that.
Not yet.
So this stuff right here, man.
Oh, dude,
I love the history that's behind your family's business.
That's a classic. That's my father on the left. The guy in the center worked for us 50 years.
Wow.
His name was Buddy Wooten. He was probably one of the best shovelhead mechanics in the world. This guy, I mean, you talk about a mechanic, like, you know, you guys are going to appreciate what I'm going to tell you. There's damn few mechanics left.
Right.
Yep.
There's a lot of technicians.
Yes.
Yes.
But there's a difference between a technician and a mechanic.
Ain't it?
People don't
Mechanic
realize
is somebody that says, well, I don't have this part, but I can make that one work.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Technician plugs it into the scandalizer and says, well, we got to, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, you got to replace it, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, it's just so hard to trade to be a mechanic today, to see it. There's not many out there. That guy was the epitome of a mechanic.
Mm.
And the guy to the right is just a guy that just hung around the Harley shop, man. Just did whatever he wanted to do. He needed anything done. Just a great guy, just hanging around like many people do, just hang around the Harley shop.
What do you think? What year that picture was?
Man, I don't know. It had to be 50s, 58 maybe. What year's that truck?
Oh,
That's what I'd say, right around
yeah, right.
57, 58.
Oh,
That was when my dad was in Evansville, Indiana on Barker Street. So that was about 64, maybe that would have been late 50s, early 60s.
That's great.
Too bad you still don't have the truck.
It's so great that you have that history.
Yeah, that's the original Boswell store in Nashville. And that clock you see under the word Boswell,
Yeah.
I still have that clock.
No kidding.
Oh, that's great.
And that clock, the neon still works in it. It's
Oh, no
crazy.
shit. That's cool.
There's a story behind it. My dad, it was a rent to own. And my dad had that clock. The clock's 70 years old. And he paid $4 a month till he paid it off. And my mother, I'll never forget, my mother would always tell the story that she raised hell with him every time she had to write a check for $4 a month. Just raised hell because of that clock. So I still have the clock. It don't keep time as well, but the neon works great.
Yeah.
That's
that's
awesome.
something you just don't touch.
No.
Hey, Evil Rick is coming in with the answer on that pickup truck. He said that's a 58 Apache. He had one of them. He knows.
Yeah.
I just see this comment, Bubba, oh my God, Bubba is really old. Yes. Scandalizer? Yes, I am old.
Listen.
Okay, I'm very old.
Mark and I both called Snap-on Scandalizers. You kissed my ass, too.
Well, that came from Radar? Is that who it came from?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Radar.
Maybe it's because we're mechanics.
Yeah, right?
maybe.
Yeah. There's a fine line. But you're so right about that. The difference between a mechanic and a technician is so huge. Like, people don't realize, I'm a mechanic. Yeah, but if you can't fix it without that scanner or the analyzer, you're not a mechanic.
Right.
You're just a parts changer.
Right.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah, it's I tell you what, if you work on Harley-Davidsons long enough back in the day, you were not a technician.
Yeah.
No.
You found another source of income because you had to be a mechanic to work in an auto shop.
Oh.
If you were to, Bubba, if you had the opportunity to give Artie Stars one piece of advice on the future of Harley-Davidson that you would want him to take above anything else, what would it be?
I told him this in November. We were at Juneau Avenue, and we had a meeting, and I told him to listen to the bricks, and the bricks were in the building, and I'm talking about the bricks at Juneau Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I said, just listen to the bricks, and what do you mean by that? I said you have an archives that is second to none, and I said, many of our problems or many things today in this business are the answers are in our past. All you got to do is make it relevant today.
That's it.
People still buy motorcycles. It's no difference today than it was 50, 60, or 70 years ago. They got handlebars, two wheels, a motor, and a seat, and a gas tank. The only difference in motorcycling today than it was then is technology. We still ride the same roads, pass the same trees, go to the Smoky Mountains, go to the Poconos. We still do all the Sturgis, Daytonas. We still do the things that our fathers, our mothers, our grandparents, and my father's grandfather did. Okay? It's just technology. So Harley-Davidson has this great wealth of the archives to where they can just open it up and say, you know what? That worked in 1970. Yeah. I bet it will work today. That worked in 1980. How can we make it work today? Yep. And I think he's going to see that real soon. And I think he listened to it.
That's something that we talk about all the time, is the fact that we came into motorcycling looking for something that was missing from our life. And we weren't looking something we could buy. We weren't looking for something that we could prove to somebody. Yeah. There was something about it. There was a quality that we had a chance to live through motorcycles and motorcycle people. Yep. And I think that's the listen to the bricks. That, man, you said that.
I got chills.
It sent chills. That was awesome.
It's all about the people. There's no motorcycle people are just the best. They are.
And you said it before about going to Daytona to see the people. It almost got to the point where the posers were overriding the real people, and that's finally starting to go away. Maybe 10 years or so now, it's been going away and getting back to the people that are actually riding are people that are there for the love of it, not to be some badass that they saw in a movie. You know, I think that's huge. Go back, grab the things that worked before, try and find them, make them relevant for today.
Well, you know, when bike sales drop, and they have dropped significantly in the last 5 years, or we can go back the last 10 years, usually the cream comes to the top, and the cream is our traditional rider, our core rider.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what, you know, our core customers are the cream, and that's when it comes to the top, and you're starting to see it come back again. Yeah, we got a little older, a little grayer, a little wiser, but there's a group under us that are going to take our spot, and they're going to fill that void, and they're going to build the bike business will come back. It might take a little longer than what we want it today, but it will come back at some point.
Well, yeah, I mean, just like you said at the beginning, I'm just going to say it a little bit differently. The culture vultures are going to weed themselves out.
Yeah.
You know, it's inevitable.
Hey, listen, this is a great thing, right? We're sitting here and he's talking about how all of this stuff is cyclical, and you know, and I'm going through his pictures and I come across this picture right here.
Yeah,
that's great.
So
yeah, I'll tell you a story on that one. I'll never forget it. It was the highlight of my year. I was that's a 71 Electra Glide. On the far right, looked like a 71 Super Glide I was standing next to.
Yeah.
And we were going to Louisville, Kentucky to the flat track races at Old Louisville Downs. And that was probably the biggest highlight because I got out of school on that Friday and I got to go to Louisville the Saturday. And I always looked forward to that. And, you know, there was nothing better than my dad would sell 100 tickets to go to the motorcycle races, and people would ride up there, and it was just a blast back in the day.
Yep. Well,
yeah,
and
I love that picture.
This is the greatest thing for me looking at this, pointing out his everything secular.
Yeah.
In the other room right now, Heather has that helmet sitting.
Oh my God, I do.
Mark has that motorcycle sitting in his garage, and I have that T-shirt in a bin in my attic.
You do not.
You absolutely damn
well,
right.
Let me tell you, I remade those T-shirts for our 75th anniversary. We sold out of them. And I mean, like Harley gave me I turned their head and they said, "Okay, you make a few of them," and we made a few of them, and we used that old 29 Lafayette Street address on the back, and they sold out immediately. You wasn't that many of them, but it goes to show you people love that look. I think that logo actually is pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And in that picture, man, I remember the first time I ever interviewed what I thought was a big shot. I got to interview Rick Fearless. And Rick brought back a memory from all of our childhoods, shooting that peace sign, doing your first cross-up wheelie on a dirt bike.
Yeah.
That's when you knew you were king of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it on a dirt bike or did it on a Schwinn Stingray bicycle?
Stingray, buddy. Stingray 5-speed, yeah.
But you know, I think, and y'all, all of us going to agree, there was one thing in the 70s that made motorcycling go crazy. It wasn't Honda, it wasn't Harley, it wasn't Yamaha, whatever. It was a movie called On Any Sunday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what spearheaded a lot of people to get involved in motorcycling. I really believe that Bruce Brown's, that story, it inspired me, and I was, 11?
Yeah.
And I could sit there and watch. I bet I've seen it 50 times, and it never gets old.
Right.
Yep. And you know what? That's part what you're talking about, how things are coming back around. That's what's starting to happen again.
Yep.
Us doing dirt drags at Smokeout. Loretta Lynn's, they do flat track hooligan race. They do hill climbs there. You know, a lot of the events are moving back towards participation based stuff.
Right.
Where
Yes,
people are coming
absolutely.
out and they're doing stuff with motorcycles.
Yeah, don't walk around and spend money. Come here and have fun.
I tell you, Billy Lane, I got to give Billy a big credit. He bought that racetrack at Hohenwald.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's going to have Sons of Speed. I think it's been great. Now the AFT is coming back. This is coming to Tennessee. They're running an AFT national motorcycle race there at his event.
Nice.
That's June 6th. Corey Texter, no, there's a Pennsylvania name.
Yep.
He's coming in and doing a race on the Friday before. it's all coming back.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
I'll be
getting
right in the middle of it.
and getting involved, the participation, like, like Chris said, for these people to be coming, and instead of, getting out of your hotel room and, riding to the city and then walking up and down and spending, $20 on a beer and $75 on a shirt, you're spending your money, you're cooking at your campsite, you're going and you're hanging out in the river, you're going on rides, like that participation, the like with us with the Smokeout. Man, bring it. You want to run that thing down the track? Bring it. That's what it's here for. Come on down and have some fun. And I think that's bringing a lot more people out of the woodwork than the stop and walk down the street and buy things from stores.
Yeah.
I think charitable events are huge in the motorcycle world too.
Oh yeah.
I think our culture really likes to help the community.
Yes.
I've been real proud of our group in Nashville. We've raised over $1.3 million for local charity, a police charity in Nashville.
Right
and it's all just a toy parade. We do it every first Saturday in November, and we have hundreds and thousands of motorcycles show up. And people really get into riding their motorcycle to support community outreach and efforts. I think it's big. It's really big. Harley used to be really big in the MDA. Remember that back in the 80s? They must go to dystrophy in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'd love to see them bring that back.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, in general, I think motorcycle people are some of the most generous demographic in the country. I really do.
We're better than people.
Whether it be helping to feed people or veterans or, I'm going to
go on a limb. I'm going to say Harley-Davidson people are the most generous. And
Yes.
I'll say that.
I agree.
I agree.
I'm not sorry. I
No, I agree.
I do.
I think the Harley-Davidson people are more of there's more of a brotherhood there than any other style of motorcycle. Not saying that there isn't in others,
you know what?
but
I'm gonna put one caveat to that, and I'm thinking that Bubba's gonna agree with this. I always thought that Harley-Davidson had a mutual exclusivity when it came to that kind of community.
Yeah.
Until I spent a lot of time at motorcycle racetracks. And I'm not talking about the promoters group or any of the shit that goes on at the track, but the community that's around a racetrack.
Yeah.
Especially like district races and stuff like that, where it really takes a community to keep it all going and together. That has a similar community to Harley riders. Like everybody there takes care of each other and has that same kind of community.
Yeah, Corey Texter does a great job. He does a deal called the Winter Throwdown near Jacksonville in every year. And it's unbelievable the participation he gets for that, from little kids to old guys like myself. And I think he had like over 800 entries this year. And I'm sorry, you see it. You also see it too, and I give big props to Supercross.
Oh yeah.
You're in the motocross or you're not in the motocross, but it's good to see 40,000 people show up to watch somebody ride a motorcycle.
Yep.
And I was at Daytona 2 years ago, and I there had to be 70,000 in the fans at Daytona. I've never
incredible.
seen so many people at a motorcycle race in my entire life at the Supercross at Daytona. And I thought, man, this is amazing.
Well, and I'll tell you again, everybody, we talk about this all the time, the stuff that's going on with both the King of the Baggers and even back to, Fred Fox giving the green light to do the very first initial race, with BRL that got the whole thing going. Like, that was one of the things that, I say this time and time again. I was the kid at the AMA Superbike races that loved seeing the Harley truck in the line with all the rest of the trucks, even if I knew they were going to lose, even if I knew Miguel Duhamel was going to beat the dog shit out of that bike and it was going to blow up part of the race. I still was as proud to be there with my Harley shirt on, rooting for my team. And it's so good to see those bikes back on the track.
It's great. I tell you, that King of the Bagger is totally badass.
Yeah.
If you ever see one yet, have you been to one yet? If you haven't, you got to go.
Yep. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, man, I feel guilty that we kept you here so long, but it was like I just looked up at the clock. I'm like, oh my God, we've had him on here for an hour. I told you maybe we'd do 20 minutes, but I would love to have you back here anytime that you want to spend with us.
I'll come back anytime. You know, I love talking motorcycles.
I see that. It was a really, really good time, man.
What a great show. Thank you so much, Bubba. Thank you.
Contact me anytime. Appreciate all of you.
Oh, I want to make sure we connect in Daytona.
I appreciate it.
I'll tell you what I'd like to do, man, is I'm going to get Heather to get in touch with you, and let's schedule some time that you're not super busy and we can come down and actually spend some time with you at your shop and look around some of your stuff and do a proper visit.
Yeah, are you coming back for Sons of Speed?
Yes.
We'll try to work around that.
Yeah, maybe for Hohenwald if we get back down there. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, guys, y'all be careful, man. Past my bedtime.
Yeah, you stay warm, Bubba.
Yeah, stay warm. Hopefully everybody gets their power back on down there.
Yeah, I'm dead. 90,000 still don't have it.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Yeah,
all right, Bubba. Well, thanks again, man.
All right, buddy. Y'all be good.
You take care. Thank you.
All right. Hey, everybody. You're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk. I know, the Dennis Kirk Studio Network. How great was that?
Love Bubba.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, Bubba's the man. Bubba's awesome. Y'all ain't wrong.
Dude,
Bubba's awesome.
He gives me absolute hope that I can still get away with more motorcycle shit in my life, and you're going to be okay with it.
Yeah. Not only that, like, you know, and not to take from anybody else or any other guest ever, but when you get a guest on, it's like it just comes out of them, and it's so easy, and you can't. The questions, you can't even keep in.
It's not even a question. It's just a talk.
Not only that, you can't. Whenever, like Heather, I sort of caught you almost forgetting your question. You're catching yourself thinking of something, and then you're so into what he's saying. When you get the break, you're like, you have no clue what you wanted to ask.
But there was nothing, not 1 second that was disingenuous.
Yeah, no, it was super easy.
It's fabulous.
Hey,
I can't wait to go to Boswell.
Listen, we're way over time, but it would kill me if I didn't at least show you guys. I have a Hillbilly tech video.
Oh, boy.
This is some Hillbilly shit. I'm telling you right off the bat. We're going to watch this and come back on the other side. We're going to wrap this one up. Don't go anywhere. You're still watching Shop Talk. I know we're overtime, but here's some Hillbilly tech.
Tech tips are brought to you by S&S, proven performance for the power sports industry.
Okay, hey man, I'm not sure if your garage is like mine, but in the wintertime, space is at an absolute premium. And all I need to do is have one motorcycle project get delayed by parts or somebody changing their mind about what they're doing, and the bikes are up my ass. Like, it's impossible to move. So they make the carts where you can jack the bike up and put it up on the cart and then roll it into the corner. I didn't have an extra $300 right now for that, and I didn't have the time to wait for one to come in. So I was sitting here thinking about what could I do to make this work for me in a Hillbilly fashion. And over at Harbor Freight, they sell these neat $20 little pallet rollers, and I figured with some 4x4s and some toolbox liner, we could make something work. Might not be as fancy as the $300 one, but I bet you it's going to let me put my motorcycle in the corner. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to try to keep the weight out to the edge. So I'm just going to put some pre-drilled holes for my 4x4. And this is not structural at all. This is just to keep these things in place. Now these little carts, believe it or not, are good for up to 1,000 pounds. And just like wrapping a Christmas present, or the way I wrap a Christmas present, everybody laughs at my present. So 1, 2, 3. I know I'm going to cover 3 sides of this. Now again, you might want to find some material that's a little bit heavier than this. That's up to you. I've had 2 6x6 blocks that you can see the bike is being built on right now. And I have built to date 18 motorcycles on top of those 2 blocks with toolbox liner as the covering, and they are just now in need of replacement. So that's a pretty good average. And you know, like I said, man, this is Hillbilly, and I don't give a rat's ass because nobody's coming in here to do an episode of Pimp My Dope Ass Garage or whatever the hell. This is a working garage and we need to get shit done. Okay. Now the idea of this is, like I said, if you have a bike and maybe you have the wheels off, you have the front end off, you can take it and just push it in the corner. But for basically $30, you got one of them there. Now, the downside of this is, unlike the fancy $300 one, there's no opening in the middle, so you are going to have to lift the bike up. Someone's going to have to shove that underneath it. But hey, like I said, it's Hillbilly. That's why they call Hillbilly strong. Get some. Let's go check it out and see how it works. Well, and that's the point, you know, we were saying is for $30,
yeah,
now you can just roll the bike around the shop. If it don't have a front end or wheels or whatever. Okay, so here we have the bike on the cart, and I'm just going to push it into the corner until I come back to work on it again. Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source TV, and this is your product spotlight. This right here. Okay, today's product spotlight comes from the ravenous Sportster obsessed mind of Pat Patterson Lead Sled Customs. This is their wraparound oil tank for Sportsters. Hard to believe that before Lead Sled, a lot of the parts that are common on every other brand of motorcycle weren't available for Sportster, but Pat went upon the work of changing that during his time in the industry, and things like this are helping the Sportster achieve a whole new level of cool. So this is their wraparound oil tank, horseshoe oil tank, however you want to say it. This one's specifically designed for curved seat post. You can see the relief leans forward like this. Any hardtail frame, really great product, really gives a great look. The reinforced mounting areas, which I'm assuming will be the top and the bottom here, are 13 gauge steel. Comes with all of the mounts that you need. You can see right here. Get those tacked in place on your frame. A short afternoon work, you can have this on your motorcycle and ready to go. Everything included out the door for $345. You can check them out today at leadsledcustoms.com. Tell them the guys from Cycle Source TV sent you. Okay, so one more time, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk studio. So XAM Biker says that first a tumbling drum, now this. you have juice boxes and Rocky. Shit. Hey, listen, man. Like I said, sometimes you know, like taking the path of least resistance. $60. I have 2 of those carts now. So, right? I mean,
that's right. In the summertime, we'll have the 2 bulldogs pull us around the garage.
Oh my God, we're so doing that.
We've had races with them before. It's awesome.
But not on rolling carts. That's
yeah,
great.
we did. Don't you remember at Holman's? They pulled me on the on the dolly. Yeah, it was great.
The worst part about it is I'll bet you the utility knife, the staple gun, and the staples are probably still laying on the floor.
Nope. I picked him up and put him away.
Oh, look at that. Well, I knew he didn't. That was my point.
Yeah, he usually only calls me out to the garage when he needs his tools put away. He'd be like, hey, baby, I need your help. Can you hold this? And while you're here, let's clean up this bench.
Well, we always used to say that's how when we had the old shop that everybody knew that I was pissed off at Chris because he was at the shop cleaning.
You guys are terrible. So everybody busted my balls. And Kieran, ratchet strap the frame to the dolly. You don't even need to. Like we put it on there.
It sat really well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
sturdy
it's
as hell,
perfect.
man. You could have pushed that thing and let go of it. It was awesome.
Oh, Jim Grady, trust me, he doesn't need an excuse to buy another bike. He needs more space before he can buy another bike.
There you go. I got the green light for the
right now,
garage, Mark.
I think he has motorcycles in like 3 states right now.
You know, it's better to have them in other states than not have them at all.
Hey, I'm looking for somebody to bump my bike over. That means I'll get paid. Unless it's Heather, then I'm not getting paid.
Well,
then I'd be like, you dumbass,
All right.
you didn't ratchet strap that bike down.
Listen, man, you guys have been awesome, like spending the time with us, and I can't even thank Bubba enough for being here because that was absolutely a breath of fresh air.
Oh, I love
you know
Bubba.
What I mean?
Yeah, good show.
Yeah.
So
really good.
next weekend is Cycle Showcase.
Yes.
It's also Super Bowl Sunday. We don't typically do a show on Super Bowl Sunday. So I think that we're going to continue with that tradition. No show.
We're not doing a show on Super Bowl Sunday?
I don't know. I'm asking.
That's fine with me.
Will you be back
And then
for it?
the 15th, we have the Ives Brothers.
Yes.
Providing there is not another Snowmageddon.
Here's
Snowpocalypse.
Here's another time that I'm going to have to go dark for a minute and tell you guys that we're thinking about our brother tonight. Means a lot in the beginning of the show. Everybody's sending out prayers and stuff, but if you can keep Big Rick in the top of your prayer list through the rest of this night into tomorrow, this is a really important time for that. So thank you for that. Brandon, we all love you, brother. We're here for you.
Give Danielle a hug. Danielle, smack him right in the mouth for me.
All right, listen, and for you guys, thanks so much for being here with us. Thanks for making Shop Talk a part of your week every week. Be back here Sunday at 9 p.m. every Sunday. Every Sunday we're going live with this show. And in the meantime, like it, share it, comment on it, do your part, get it out to the rest of the world that there is a motorcycle program every week. We got news, some comedy, good times, legends. It's happening here in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio.
If you really dig what we're doing, grab that link on YouTube, paste it to your Facebook page, share. Sharing is caring.
That's it.
Karen.
All right, man. Until next time, we'll catch you guys. Get out, do something with your motorcycle. Get ready. The season is coming like a runaway train. We'll see you back here next Sunday. Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Stay warm, Felicia.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Shop Talk. You can tune into this show live every week on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, thanks to our sponsors: Dennis Kirk, Deadwood Customs, S&S Cycle, Cycle Stop USA, Drag Specialties, Twin Power, Clockworks, Law Tigers, Progressive Insurance, Mid-USA, Garage Build, Spectro Oils, Milwaukee Leathers, Tech Cycles, Twisted Choppers, Twisted Tea, Drag Specialties Seats, Iron Horse Saloon, Lone Star Rally, Paco, Toes Performance, and Stevenson Cycle. Thanks for tuning in to America.